Barry,
Steve on.
has your taste buds ever changed?
Have they?
Yeah. What food did you hate and what food do you now like?
I used to be a pure salad dodger. No, I'm not.
A salad dodger?
Salad dodger.
No, but salad's not like, you dodged it because you were a meat man, but you're not because you didn't like the food.
What?
My point is, I fucking hate olives. Hated them.
Oh, no.
They were like, anyone said, what don't you like? I'd be like, olives.
Do you know what I tried today and I've never tried it before? Couscous. Couscous. Couscous.
Couscous.
And it was lovely.
It's nice if you flavour it right.
I probably would have liked it years ago. I
horrible.
don't know whether, I've never had it, so my taste buds haven't changed.
What about quinoa?
Quinoa?
Yeah.
I've never had it.
A lot of people call it quinoa. Quinoa.
Oh.
Quinoa and couscous. Brilliant for you. Yeah. And we've grown hydroponically quinoa. We've grown that in the shop. It's actually really easy to grow. Really nice plants as well. Lots of colours. Takes about 4 or 5 weeks to get to the height, and then it does take about 6-7 weeks to flower and produce its seeds as well.
Does it?
Yeah, it's a good 12-week plant.
Very nice.
Quinoa. But yeah, fucking olives. Libby, she works in the media company. She brought in olives today and she went, "You hate olives, don't you?" I went, "Yeah, I'm trying to get better at them." And she brought them in, and these are olives with garlic and some other seasoning in there. And they were gorgeous. I've just finished all your olives.
What is your point, lad? I only started the podcast on talking about my taste buds and your grown quinoa.
Because that's how I wanted to start the podcast. You got a problem with that?
Start it with the sponsors, mate.
Well, we're going to get into the sponsors. We're not going to start off every podcast with the, and today we have, just a bit of light conversation. Ease everybody into it. Then we'll talk about the partners.
A bit of light conversation.
Is that
what the podcast's about? Was that a hint?
Ooh.
That?
It was, yeah. My idea, that. Light conversation. Oh, you can come and work with me in the media, lad. Right. Kick things off with Canna. Canna are on Instagram. Go and follow them. Don't be lazy bastards. Canna.uk.official. You can carry on playing this podcast while you jump onto Instagram. You can go and follow these people, because they would really appreciate the follow, and you can learn a lot from them as well. So say that again, canna.uk.official on Instagram. And the website is canna-uk.com. You can find them easily if you just Google them. They are our nutrient partner. Our systems partner is Autopot. You can find them on Instagram, Autopot_global and Autopot Cultivation Consultancy. Go and give them a follow because they would appreciate it. And they also give you really good hints and tips. They're a global company, so you can see them traveling all around the world into all different grow operations. Very good, interesting Instagram to follow. And they are autopot.co.uk for their website. If you're looking for a system, they've got everything on there. Go and find them, check them out, see what system works for you. Go and buy it. Our foliar feed partner is Optic Foliar. Follow them on Instagram at Optic Foliar UK. And the website is opticfoliar.com. Very good for all of your foliar feeding needs. Now, not just foliar feed, pest prevention. Lots of other different types of prevention that you need to go and look at. And they've got products like Rev, Watts, Transport. It's phenomenal. Not just their overgrow all-in-one spray. Got lots of little individual products. If you don't know about them, go and find out. Opticfoliar.com. Our next partner is Global Air Supplies. Everything you could need for air and extraction, plus lots in between. I'm not going to spend me time going through all the products because you've just got to visit www.globalairsupplies.co.uk to see everything that they sell, and follow them on Instagram at Global Air Supplies Ltd. They're always posting really good, informative posts about all the products that they use. They've got the product focus going on out at the moment, which is really good, talking about the different products that they sell and going in depth on them. And obviously lots of stuff around that. I think a recent post was 3 reasons to measure the EC of pH of soil. So lots of information and good areas that you can fill in the gaps of your knowledge with. So go and visit their website, globalairSupplies.co.uk, and their Instagram is Global Air Supplies Limited on Instagram. Dynamyco is our fungi microbe partner. They are Instagram at Dynamyco, and website is dynamyco.com. Brilliant fungi and microbes. Everything you need to put in your pots and get beneficial mycorrhiza, enhancing your root system. Budbox are our tent partner. At Budbox Grow Tents on Instagram and budboxgrowtents.com is their website. The website is brilliant for all the different tent sizes, all the different reflective materials, all the different pole sizes. Whatever you need, you can find it on their website. And Garden Culture Magazine on Instagram and gardenculturemagazine.com. You don't want to buy the print, or you don't buy it free. You don't want to grab your Garden Culture magazine from a shop, then you can look at it on gardenculturemagazine.com. They have all of their episodes, all of their editions online, so you can go from edition 1 right through to the latest edition and find out everything you need to know about growing in the written form. But for everything you need to know about growing in the audio form, you just sit right where you are and listen to us. We'll be back after the break.
All good? Ready to go? Turn my voice up a little bit. Oh, God, for everyone watching, the whole family.
Are you ready to go? Barry Village is here in the house that I built, in the booth that I built.
I know people tune in every Sunday to listen, but even when business is good, we still manage to do the podcast. NPK.
Today's podcast, Barry, is LED the death of HPS?
I want one of them LL. You
want the LEDs?
I want the LEDs.
But not the fishing LEDs. If you're fishermen, they also have LEDs.
I've been asked for them, you know. Hey, do you do them LEDs in here? Bucks of lead, mate. The LEDs, they like for the plants in the day, and the LEDs, LED. Yeah.
You got lead in your
My
pencil?
mate said to me a while ago, he said, "What's your company name?" And he said it, and he said the company name, went, Littered. And I went, "What?" And he went, Yeah. And I went, "What the fuck's Littered?" And he went, "I don't know." And I went, "You mean LTD?" And he went, Yeah. And I went, "Littered. You stupid bastard." What are you on about?
Lad, give me the first initial of who that was.
L.
I don't even know. Oh, shut up.
Littered. Said the name of his company.
He's a smart man as well.
Yeah, and he said the name of his company and then said Littered. And I went, Littered? Why Littered? I don't know, that's just what it says at the end. I went, that means limited, and it says LTD.
Rolls Royce Littered. Mercedes-Benz Littered. So, Barry, I asked you a question as well. I said, do you have lead in your pencil?
Do I?
Yeah.
Fucking too much.
I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping you wouldn't know what I meant. I was going to wind it up. But today's episode is LED the death of HPS?
I thought you were going to say the death of grow shops. Then I was going to say, yeah, definitely, mate. No one comes back in now and buys bulbs and shades and ballast, mate. Finished.
I know. Bit of a sore point for our Basil there. Is it a sore point for you? Are you a shop owner that fucking doesn't sell bulbs anymore? So we all did great, didn't we? In the LED boom. Now, it's fucked. Get on this. I was thinking about this
morning. Think it's only fucked because I just don't know
why they're giving away 5-year warranties.
Yeah, is that like a thing where the first one's done it saying, come on, we'll capture the market with our 5-year guarantee, because everyone's done a 5-year guarantee now, and it's like, it must be pissing shops off when 3 years, 4 years later, someone comes back and goes, intermittent, that, you know, what you mean? It can be on, and then I go back in a couple of hours later and it's off. And it's like, I'm not fucking putting it on in my shop and just sitting it, leaving it there, do you know what I mean? It's like, Send it back to the wholesaler. Now I've got to send it back. So they must have piles of them. And it's not that if it breaks 3 years later, that company's now got a brand new LED out and they've got to replace that one. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know.
why give these people that much of a guarantee? You don't even get a 5-year guarantee on a telly.
I know.
Buy a telly. Some tellies are dearer than a fucking LED.
You get a 3-year,
And
you get extended warranties.
You've got to pay for the extended warranties.
Yeah.
So why not just give a 2-year one, but then say, look, mate, if you want a 2-year one, you can get an extended warranty and that if you want, you know. Like, 2 years, plenty. 2 year, plenty.
I know. I know it's a bit of a mad one, isn't it? But
what's going to happen as well, though, in 3 or 4 years' time? And don't get me wrong, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope these LEDs are quality made. But I know companies that aren't quality that make LEDs and put a 5-year guarantee on it. And it's like, I could have put you into fucking liquidation because every LED you've sold, you might get fucking 60, 70% back that you've got to replace. So it's like your margin in the LED now for them selling that LED, not us as a shop, but them selling it, is like, you might sell 100 units, but in 3 years' time, you replace them fucking 50 of them. So it's like, it's fucking mental, mate. Absolutely mental.
There's not many places outside of our industry where you get a 5-year warranty either, is there? I might have a little.
It's fucking ridiculous, lad. Absolutely. Name me something now what you get a 5-year warranty on.
Want me to Google it?
What do you get a 5-year warranty on? Your washing machine in your house, you have to phone up. When you buy a washing machine, it has the sticker on it, doesn't it? It says 3-year guarantee when registered. And you've got to register it for your guarantee. You know what I mean? That's 3 years.
Yeah, you've got to register for a Samsung 5-year warranty. You've got to register for that. Cars, you pay for the 5-year warranty.
Cars, you get a 3-year warranty, and then you pay for an extended, I think.
All additional warranties, and you've got to sign up, give your email address, give loads of information away. So what they're doing is, see, with Samsung, who make washing machines, or Bosch, or whoever, they don't just sell washing machines, they sell loads of products. So what they're saying is, we'll give you the extra warranty on this one product that we sell, but gives your email address, gives this,
and we can file loads of shit over to you.
Yeah, and it's a marketing tool for them, isn't it? In our industry, though, they only sell LEDs.
I know, but still putting a 5-year warranty on it. Whose fucking idea was that?
No, I mean, like, that's a bad thing. If they had other products to sell, like, let's say...
if they had... Canna. Yeah. So Canna sold LEDs, fans, everything.
Yeah.
It's time for a 5-year guarantee on it. Do you know what I mean? Not time for a 5-year guarantee on it, but I could understand why.
Marketing technique.
It's like, I know loads of LEDs now. I know loads of wholesalers who I speak to and I go, do you get many returns? And they go, yeah, fucking loads. And I go, wow, what do you do? And then like, yeah, we stockpile them and then we send them back. It's like, wow.
So yeah, how did we get onto that anyway? It was just your bugbear, wasn't it?
It is. I think that's the worst thing that LED companies have ever done. I think they've just punished themselves as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Punished themselves. I was
going to tell you a story. My house, if you haven't done this already, I cannot recommend it enough. LEDs in spotlights or LEDs all over your house.
Who told you to do that?
Oh, just this fella that I had come into the house.
Me?
Shit,
was I that fella?
Dry liner.
How many? How many LEDs have you got in your house?
4, 8, 16, 20, 24. That's say about 25, including the bathroom.
What wattage? If you turned all them on now, what's the wattage? I can tell you because
5 watts each. Is it something like that?
No, I don't know, 5 watts each.
What are they?
I think your one's a 3 watt.
Are they?
Yeah.
The bright as well.
Bright.
But obviously for
human eye. You know what mine are?
What?
I paid like a little bit extra. I've got 70 LEDs in my house. The full house, top to bottom, 70 LEDs. And if I turn them all on, I've worked it out, it's 150 watt.
Not that, innit? And I remember you can get bulbs that are 40 watts.
Yeah.
So 3 of them.
Years ago, like most bulbs were like 40, 60 watts. And you know what I mean?
I mean, point is, the point that I'm getting
you go into an old house now
bathroom
that's just got normal bulbs in, probably about 30 watt, maybe 20 watt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know and the shit.
And it's like, some people can turn 2 lights on in their house and they're running more than me.
Yeah.
You know
My
what I mean?
dad was like, what are we doing? Heating the whole of West Derby up here? Because we'd leave the lights
I
on
done
and
it for the
heat
fact that I didn't want to be like my dad. So when I go in now and the house is like fucking Blackpool, I just look and think,
on. No.
no.
On my bathroom as well, it was one of them old bathrooms and it was a pull string on it. And I haven't swapped the X, I'm a lazy bastard and I don't know how to do it. So there's a job there for you, Barry. Pull string, but the pull string doesn't work. So you can pull, won't turn on. You've got to just pull it 50 times. Yeah, got to pull it 50 times and basically just get it on. So I just left it on.
Put a sensor on it.
Just left it on. And it's been running.
You can actually
for
get
over a year now,
a sensor
non-stop.
that you put in instead of a light switch in your bathroom. You can get a sensor what goes in and you set it. When you take the front of it off, it has a little thing there, so it might say like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. No, it'll put the lights on full, but you can set the time. So when someone walks in the bathroom, the light automatically comes on and it might stay on for 5 minutes and then go off. But if you're on the shitter and you're taking a little bit longer, all you do is just give a little movement and it comes back on.
I'll put the bowels on as well. The bowels. Right. Let's get into it. So quick fire
them to me and I'll answer them.
Quick fire quiz. Is LED the death of HPS?
Yes.
Is LED the death of 1,000 watt HPS?
No.
The next question is LED the death of 600 watt HPS?
Do you know what? I'd say maybe not 1,000 watt just yet. 600 definitely finished. It's gone.
Ooh, controversial.
It's gone. But
I think the
1,000 watters is still used, but give it a year.
I think, I don't know, I was thinking the opposite, mate. I was thinking because 600, 800,000 watt LEDs, and you've got your Gavita like for like now, haven't you? You've got your Gavita 750 watt direct replacement 1-to-1 for the 1,000 watt HPS direct light. Do you mean like they've blitzed them?
No, what you're saying,
I'm thinking that maybe they're not the death of the 600 watt HPS yet is because you can still pick up a digital light kit for what? £65 full kit.
But I can also replace that digital light kit for £300.
But it's the upfront cost, isn't it?
£300 from £65.
What's that?
If someone comes into our shop and wants LEDs and wants a new little 1.2 by 1.2 setup or a meter by a meter setup, yeah, and they want a 600 watt light kit, but they're asking about the LEDs, what's better, and £300, £65, I then make it exactly the same price for them. How do we do it? You don't need a big timer to run your light. You don't need that big a fan to run your 600 watt light as you do with an LED.
Mm.
You probably, it's just better, isn't it?
It is,
You can get the price down a little bit because you don't need, with the 600, if you're running, let's just say you were running 600 watt lights, you're going to need a big fan and filter to shift the heat, because we're not shifting the amount of air in that room. We're shifting the heat out of that room. That's what we're calculating for. Now with LED, you're only calculating for the room, the air in the room to be changing, not calculating for the heat. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need your big fans, your big filters. You can get 6 LEDs now that link together and plug into a plug and grow timer. Do you know what I mean? So now you're not buying a big timer, you're not buying a big fan. So you're buying a plug and grow timer and you're buying a well smaller fan and filter for cheaper. So it comes off the price, doesn't it?
There's two things as well.
Plus the 5-year guarantee sells it down the river.
I know, yeah. Well, you can save
then
cost.
When he walks out the door, I think,
see
you in about 4 years, 5 years, mate. Yeah. And I'll only see you then. It won't be to take money off you. It'll be for taking your LED back that's broken, just sending it back and getting you a brand new one and giving you it back. I'm just a middleman earning no money. Do you know what I mean?
I've got 10 points here. 10 positives for LEDs and 10 positives for HPS. And then we'll leave it up to the listeners to decide, is LED being the death of HPS? So what do you want to do first? Benefits of LED or benefits of HPS?
Any.
Okay, go with LED then. Just fucking let them wait for the benefits of HPS because we pretty much know them. Number 1, energy efficiency. It's the biggest benefit.
But not in all LEDs.
Not in all the shit ones. Not in the shit ones.
You say shit ones, some of them are still half decent, and you get 720 watts. And people go, what wattage is 720 watt? Yeah, but it's LED. It doesn't matter if it's fucking LED or cabbage lad. If it's running 750 watt, 720 watts, it's 720 watts. So by replacing your 600 watt light for a 720 watt, it's costing you 120 watts more to run.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful on that one.
That is what a lot of people think.
I don't think
a watt
many
is a watt
LEDs
is a watt.
I don't think many LEDs are that much different from running an HPS.
If you
look at Sunlight, I'll just name them now because I'll put it out there because it's for the listeners. Sunlight, you need 2 lights to cover a 1 meter by 1 meter. You need 2 lights to cover a 1.2 by 1.2. Them 2 lights are
245 watts.
245 watts, so we're not far off 500 watts. So yeah, but 100 watts down. But we're not that far away, really, are we? We're not like dramatic where I've gone from running 600 watts to running fucking whatever watts. I think the only one off the top of my head is Maxi Bright. That's 300 watt. Covers a meter by a meter.
Yeah. So that's what a lot of people thought, isn't it? The 600 watt LED would save them money compared to a 600 watt HPS.
People get confused
with efficiency and actually how much wattage is being drawn. But so people think LED lights consume less electricity than HPS lights, leading to lower energy bills. And that's sort of a myth that got propagated, to use a horticulture word.
I can see where people have got confused though, because it's like the bulbs in your house and the bulbs in my house and the lights in your stairs at home and all that, the dead low wattage.
Not everyone has lights in the stairs at home, Barry.
No, but it's like LED. It's like LED lights in your headlights in new cars.
Yeah.
They run nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They run absolutely nothing, but they're not for growing plants.
No. They're very different. But the point now, people listen will be like, what? I got my LEDs because they're more efficient, because they cost me less on the electricity. No, a 600 watt LED is going to cost you exactly the same as a 600 watt HPS.
Yeah.
However, you will get more light per watt out of an LED than you will out of a HPS. So for the cost of your 600 watt LED, you are getting more photons out the end of your LED than you will do out the end of a bulb, because 600 watt HPS will take that as heat and light.
And it is more, when I say efficient, a good LED from a good brand will not degrade over 5 years, as your HPS bulb is going to need changing every.
Well, if you want the best, you change them every grow, don't you?
But no, I'd say every do a grow, do your veg, change it, do your flower, do a grow, change it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like a cycle and a half with your bulb. The older, a lot of people don't know, the older the bulb, the hotter it gets as well.
Because it becomes less efficient.
Yeah, it becomes less efficient, so it gets hotter.
Less light and more heat out of it. LEDs though, like the good ones, like you say, if they come out the factory, I think they come out the factory 98% efficient, don't they? Yeah. Because they've tested them and they've worn the LEDs in, which you have to. And then I think over 5 years, I think the best ones only go down to 90% or 95%. The shitter ones, you'll lose a bit more than that.
The shitter ones, after about 18 months, you'll start to see it slowly just degrade a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Just
a point on number one is 600 watts is 600 watts, whether it's 600 watts of HPS, 600 watts of metal halide, 600 watts of ceramic metal halide, LED. A watt is a watt.
The watt's the watt.
Yeah, and what you draw from the wall is what you're paying for. So be careful with there, but they are more efficient. Benefit number 2 of LEDs, which we just we touched on a little bit there, is longer lifespan. LEDs typically last for 50,000 hours or more. HPS lights typically last around 10 to 20,000 hours. 10,000 hours is probably more accurate for 600 watt HPS, 20,000 hours for your double-ended 1,000 watt HPS, because they are a little bit better. And in terms of efficiency of HPS, your 1,000 watt HPS is more efficient than your 600 watt. Double-ended, lasts longer, more output per watt. That's something to think about as well if you still are in the HPS game.
Just keep talking. I'm trying to calculate something here.
Why do you say that calculate the way you say it?
Calculate.
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 There's one cow plus 2 cows equals 3 cows. I've got to calculate. So longer lifespan than HPS. Barry obviously doesn't want to. He's trying to calculate something. Point number 3 on LEDs is, can you whisper under your breath, please? Because I can fucking hear you. Point number 3 is less heat generated. So LED grow lights generate a lot less heat, reduces the risk of overheating the plants and the need for additional cooling systems, which we talked about when Barry's reducing people's costs on HPS. So you generate less heat because, like we said with point 1, they are more efficient. So for every watt that is pulled from the wall, they would transfer more into light energy than heat energy.
So if an LED, this is by my workings out.
Okay.
This is saying that you've had your plants for 4 weeks, flowered them for 90 days. Yeah. Just let's put a ballpark on it. If the LED is efficient for 50 hours, you will get 33.333 grows out of it.
Okay.
So 33 grows.
And have you done that for
HPS?
HPS?
You work that out.
Barry's calculator.
That's an LED.
So do these calculations at home yourself, because I'm not checking them yet.
Yeah, go ahead. You'll do them at home as well. Just double check. 33 grows.
Yeah,
so
that's about right. 33. And then what would you get out of it? HPS? Figure that out. Well, I continue with less heat generated. Reduce the risk of overheating your plants. So with HPS, you sort of get 3 types of heat. Radiant heat, which is what heats your plants up. Convected heat, which is just heats the room. And you've got light energy output as well. With LEDs, you just get convected heat and light energy. So you get very, very little radiated heat to the plant. Now, this is where some people get unstuck, because the transpiration, which is how much the plant drinks from root to leaf and out through the stomata, reduces dramatically under LED, because plants only drink based on how much water they lose to the environment. If that transpiration reduces, plant drinks less nutrients. That's where you trip up with LEDs. So that's the transition from HPS to LED. That's the big thing. But it does, with HPS, it is really easy to overheat. If you don't give them enough water, they're going to become wilted. You can overeat, to put it simply, when plants take up nutrients. So it does cause a lot of problems. And there's no need for additional cooling systems such as air conditioning when you run LEDs. So that is another reduced cost. What did you work out there, Barry? How many runs on HPS, or did you give up? Oh, you forgot what you were doing, didn't you?
I forgot what I was doing.
You went onto Instagram, went onto his fucking reels.
I went on the calculator and I work out that if they say 50,000 hours, then that's 33 grows.
Yeah.
I was trying to work out what's 33 grows. How many years is that worth of growing? I've worked it out where it's roughly just over 3 grows a year. So what's that?
I'm going to get my calculator up. So if you do 4 weeks at 18 hours, so 4 weeks, 4 times 7 is 28 days.
Yeah, times 18.
Hang on.
Gives you 504.
Yeah, 28 days times 18 hours of light,
504.
Remember that, Barry, 504. And then what we do in 12 weeks of flowering?
I just put 90 days, yeah.
90 days times 12 gives you 108.
Yeah.
Plus 504 is 1,584.
Shared by
hours.
Yeah. So 50,000 shared by that number, because that's a full cycle of growing, gives you 33.3333.
31.56.
What?
1584.
Huh?
There's 131. We're not going to split hairs here.
I got 33.
83. Now, 1584. Now, if we do 10,000 divided by 1584, you get 6 grows out of a HPS. However, HPS aren't much more.
No, what I was trying to work out is it's 33 grows.
At 95% efficiency.
Yeah, but how many years are you growing for to do 33 grows?
Okay, let's have a little look. So if you did 3 a year,
Yeah, well, that's what it works. It works out at
11 years.
11 years worth of growing out of an LED.
Fucking hell. NPK's
Maybe that's where they come
years.
up with fucking 5-year guarantee. So, yeah, give them half of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another benefit of using LED, number 4, full spectrum light. Now, with HPS, you get that orange glow. Metal halides, you have that whitey blue glow. And ceramic metal halide is pretty much the closest that we had to sunlight under a HPS, a gas-filled bulb, should we say.
But what are you going to talk about here?
LEDs provide a more balanced light spectrum, leads to healthier plant growth and improved yields.
LED has got every one of them in. So if you wanted to veg under a metal halide, you need a metal halide. Then if you want to go on a dual spectrum, then you've got to change your bulbs. So that's 2 bulbs that you now own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
granted, you get one with the light kit, but so let's say you got the 600 watt with the light kit, then you've got to buy a metal halide, and then what would you change it to at the end? Would you change it to a finishing bulb?
If you wanted to be like
the
dog's bollocks.
Yeah. So now you've got a light kit and 2 bulbs.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
So to have LED is a bit more.
And the ceramic metal halide bulbs, which, you know what was gutted about? Ceramic metal halide never really took off like it should have done. Like ceramic metal halide needed to be 2 or 3 years earlier.
But I bet you could say to every grower in Britain now, do you use metal halide to veg dual spectrum, or do you use like metal halide? Do you use like a dual spectrum right the way through, or do you use metal halide, proper veg flower in HPS, and then a finishing bulb? Do you know what I mean? They probably go, I'll just use dual spectrum all the way through.
Yeah.
That's why CMH never took off.
No, it did. It just didn't take off as much as I'd have liked it to. And what I was going to say is there were 315 watts, the ceramic metal halides. So you had to get 2. Or you had to get them shades that they did.
The double.
The 630. Double-ended.
But what do you think's more? What do you think's better? So, what was that? So now you've got, and how much were they? They were half deal.
They were expensive, yeah.
You may as well just buy for the price of it. I could have put 1200 watts in there of dual spectrum and got a better result.
Yeah. But not as good
quality, but a better result.
I miss talking about HPS. There was so much to talk about. There was so much that you could do and fiddle with. LEDs just come out and like turn it on. It's efficient, full spectrum.
Yeah.
And at this site, boom, you're done. A bit boring, aren't they? But there's no getting away from it. The full spectrum. So, and a lot of people say that full spectrum all the way through, start to finish, gives you a better result than mixing and matching your spectrums. Yeah. Also, customize your spectrum. That's maybe 0.5. You can customize the spectrum with LED. A lot of them offer
only
the ability.
Certain ones, though, don't.
Yeah, not all of them. But some of them offer the ability to adjust the light spectrum so that you can tailor your light to the specific needs of your plant. Or that goes against what we've just said. Full spectrum, all the way through, gives you probably the best results. LEDs also tend to come in a compact size as well, don't they? So the smaller, lighter,
I don't know,
easier to install and manage.
Some of them are fucking massive. Fucking bend in half.
That Gavita.
The Gavita one that they brought out, mate. You couldn't even get it. You couldn't get it. You needed a transit fan to put it in the back of it.
Oh, that you're talking about the
that was the American one,
aren't you? Yeah, that was meant for, why? That was
it was never meant to be here, was it?
It was meant for big greenhouses. And they brought out the CT2000. Brilliant LED, but there's no but. It was heavy. That's all I'm saying. It was heavy and cumbersome. But most LEDs are pretty.
A lot of them are quite big now. You don't get. Do you ever remember? And you don't hear Spectrum King.
Yeah.
And they done a good coverage, didn't they? And don't get me wrong, they were a heavy unit, but they were a good coverage and they were small. You know what I mean? But they were heavy. But now they all seem to be like quite big. If you go to get a 1.5, if you get you can get a Maxi Bright 720 and it's called a Veda Drive or something.
Vari Drive.
Yeah, Vari Drive. And then you can get the Lumitech. They're all pretty much the same, aren't they? They're like a bit of a budget range one. But they're all quite big units. They're all like 1.2 by 1.2 squared. Do you know what I mean? The Lumitech one doesn't fold in half. I think the Maxi Bright one does. They make one called Zeus 720. Yeah. I don't think that folds in half.
Do you know what else? You know what's a belter? Dimlux.
LED?
Yeah. It's not Dimlux. We don't have a huge amount of Dimlux customers in Liverpool, but Manchester, yeah, they do quite well. And I imagine they do well in other parts of the country. But yeah, I've had a look at the Dimlux LED. Really nice. And obviously you've got our favourite, which is the Sunlight. I think that we do the best in our shop with Sunlights at the moment, don't we?
Yeah.
And they're nice and compact and small and lightweight.
Yeah.
So they're good then. Excuse me. Point number 7, lower maintenance. No cleaning of shades, no replacing the bulbs, no cleaning the bulbs. Longer lifespan, lower heat output. LEDs require less maintenance than HPS lights, so it's less work for you to do. What a lot of people didn't do with HPS is clean the shade. The dust, the oil, water.
Not surprised though. I'm fucking scared to go near them when they're on.
I know.
Fucking melt coats and everything. And fuckers burn your head, melt your coats with.
The amount of reduction, a lot of that light, I might go so far to say 50% of it was
not getting reflected.
Yeah, it was hitting the reflector and being absorbed by dirt, grime, oil, shite. Mm-hmm. And 50% of your light, even if your HPS was brand new, still it's being reflected once off the reflector and down. LEDs is straight down, so that's what makes them a bit more efficient as well. One of my favourite points, point 8, environmentally friendly, contain no hazardous materials, more energy efficient, greener choice. They last longer, so there's less need to produce as many LEDs. Don't need to dispose of the bulbs, and some of the gases in them HPS bulbs are not bad for the environment, but you still got to dispose of them, haven't you? These LEDs, you're buying once, you're buying at least for 5 years. If it works well, you can potentially last for up to 10 years, as we've just calculated. So better for the environment, less products being made. Number 9, instant on and off. What did we have to do with HPS?
Do a nightmare, man.
How long would you reckon it takes for HPS to get to full brightness?
On a magnetic one, if you turned it off, you couldn't just turn it back on. You'd have to wait 5 minutes, let it cool down, then turn it back on. Digital's a bit like that though, but it takes a bit of a lesser time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think 5 minutes to get to full power on a 600 watt
LED, you can
digital.
just sit there flicking the switch on and off, and it just comes on, off, on, off, on, off. It's well easier.
Also, did you know that it doesn't affect the lifespan when you do that on, off with an LED? If you do that with HPS, constantly igniting and cooling down, igniting.
That's because the bulb's got to ignite, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's burning. So what's it doing? It's burning.
That's what I did find that dead interesting about HPS bulbs. So high pressure sodium means that the sodium gas is in the bulb under high pressure. And when that ignites, which is the spark goes through the filament, it ignites the gases in there, creates a colour. What I thought was really interesting about HPS bulbs or metal halide, so the halide gases create a blue light. Ceramic metal halide, ceramic means that it was cooler, it would run more efficient to give you a better quality of light. Basically burn at different temperatures with different gases, give you different light colours. I thought it was just dead interesting to even just talk about that. But they've got to ignite, cool down, causes wear and tear, so that does affect the lifespan of it as well. Number 10, much better light distribution with LEDs. They can be placed closest to the plants, but not too close, because even though you're not going to get light burn or a heat burn, heat stress, you will get light stress. You can still bleach your plants, can't you? But because you can get them closer, the closer you get to them, the more efficient the photons are at hitting the plants. You're going to get more photons hitting the plants rather than on the floor or on the walls. And like I said before, they're just coming straight down. I
think that
the photons are
in general, though, as well, they're just less dangerous as in wiring and stuff like that, because you can daisy chain. So if you've got 3 LEDs in a tent, you can have them just linked together, daisy chain together, and plugged into one socket. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And they're the 10 points of the benefits of LED over HPS. Now, I think the benefits of LED over HPS,
I think LED wins
all over.
Yeah.
They do.
I can't wait to Because you've got it written down, your 10 bullet points on why your HPS are good, aren't you?
I have, yeah.
I just want to hear them.
Lower upfront cost. So, what does 6 LEDs cost at the cheapest? Oh, let's go 4 LEDs and let's say 2.4 by 1.2.
A 2.4 by 1.2, you're looking 500 piece, aren't you?
Yeah.
2.4 by 1.2, you're probably looking, no. 2.4 by 1.2, it depends. You can go dead expensive sunlight or you can go dead cheap with just a bit of a brand. So let's just put a figure on it of, I don't know, let's just put a figure out there of 2.4 by 2. Let's put 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
Let's just average it out, 1,500 quid.
£260 for 4 HPS digital light kits.
Yeah.
So, say, massive. It's
a massive difference.
£1,300. Now, let's go with a slightly smaller fan and filter, though. Saving £200 maybe?
200 quid. Then the timer box, let's just say a one for a good one. You don't need that no more. So you're saving 85 quid because you're only going to buy a plug-in grow for 15 quid.
Up front, let's say you could, let's just put it at 9 ton, saving £900. Now, over 5 years, you're easily going to eat into that 9 ton saving. But it is a £900 in your pocket, walking out the shop there and then. Yeah. Most people do prefer that. Put number 2 is proven performance. So HPS lights have been used for decades. Effectiveness in plant growth, well documented. So decades and decades, all around the world.
Yeah, they work.
Proven results.
Hands down, they work.
And and LEDs are still tweaking, still making changes, still trying to perfect them.
But LEDs work.
They do now.
They do now. They never did.
Remember the Blairple LEDs?
Yeah.
Fucking got off to a bit of a shit start.
But they do now and they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
Because that's what they've gone from magnetics to digitals to LEDs and there's nothing else after that, is there?
No. I don't think so. No, there isn't. Not that we know of. So at least now I'd say there's nothing else. Because LEDs were out 100 years ago, but they were like, I think so. But they were just
100
chips.
years ago?
Yeah.
What up?
Yeah. Well, we did a little thing for Gavita about a year ago when they launched the CT2000 and we did a timeline of the lights. Did you know, I'm going to have to find this out, but did you know neon lights came out before HPS lights? Neon was out in like the early 20s.
Everything's getting changed to LED lights now. Street lights by the councils, offices, everything's LED. The motor, haven't you seen on, you'll be on it, certain parts of the motorway.
Light up as you drive.
They light up when the car's on it, they'll come on. If there's no cars on the motorway, the lights go off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But they're all LED, like the cat's eyes. They're all LEDs. They're not cat's eyes no more, a lot of them. Don't get me wrong, glad your big major motorways are, but soon enough, haven't you come to haven't you come to the end of Switch Island, the end of the 57?
Belter.
And it can be pitch black. And then just as the lights change and you start to go, all the LEDs come out on the road. All light up on the road. For everyone,
for the 99% of people who are from Liverpool and don't know what Switch Island is, it's like Spaghetti Junction. There's about 2 motorways coming into it, 2 A roads, a couple of B roads.
So when your lights change, the LEDs on the floor light up like a runway, so you know where you go and you can see your lane.
Safer.
Because it is a bit fucking.
I got a little bit excited there then.
But
I thought Barry thought that cat's eyes were LEDs for a second.
I'd love to have been the inventor of them, no, mate.
Can you imagine?
Imagine that. But going back to it, there is nothing else past LED. And there probably will be in the future. There'll be LED times 1945 or something, which is a better LED and it runs a quarter of a watt and it'll light a fucking football pitch up. There will be something. They won't
still
just
be an LED.
What do they call it? Innovator.
Yeah.
There will be an innovator working on something, but for the
foreseeable future.
That's it, Stephen. It's LED, so they're only going to get better. Yeah. And HPS is going to get shitter because no one's working on them. Because why would you work on an HPS bulb when LED's already starting to take the market and people can see it? Do you know what I mean? So HPS bulbs as they are now, but if someone could prove me wrong that someone's out there now working on an HPS bulb, it's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. So they've come to a standstill. You know what I mean?
I think we need to take back the shit that we give to Blairple lights, because what a lot of people don't think, it would have been great to see the tip and point of LED. So LED manufacturers had to invest a lot of their own money into it, didn't they? Remember, I take my hat off to Paul Krasnowski, the owner and inventor of not Budbox.
Nice.
That's Jonathan. Budmaster.
Budmaster.
Later became Cropmaster. He, for me, and probably for most people who know the shit, was the innovator in the UK. Like, he was the man for LEDs in the UK. And he was that early with his technology.
Well, people laughed at it.
Nobody were buying LEDs. And it was that blurple technology. But at the time, it was the best. But you see, without that, we wouldn't be where we are today.
I beg to differ.
Well,
not everyone in our industry has looked at Paul.
No, I don't
far
mean it
and
like
wide
that.
Across the world and
No,
gone, look
like
at him
that.
doing that, we'll jump on that.
Don't mean like that.
I think he was just a clever fella who was ahead of the game and was too early in his time.
He was too early.
I think
how does technology advance? By making mistakes and improving, And I know, like,
and it's just unfortunate that there's always someone at the beginning who thinks of it. It doesn't work, but then it does take off years later when they were already ahead of the curve. It's sad that.
But for your likes of, you got your Maxi, your Lumatex, your Gavitas, your Sunlights.
Everyone.
They had to put a huge amount of money in to get started and to sell. You know, the early adopters, they're called.
Yeah.
They had to get a certain amount of people to buy them that they could reinvest that money into innovating and getting better LEDs. Yeah. And now, because LEDs are so well sold, now just perpetual cycle. Now they just a flow. They just go. It would have been interesting to see where that tipping point was, where it stopped becoming invest, and where the LEDs were selling enough to break even to where they are now, where I know it's going to be a highly profitable product for people who've managed to battle along with them. Point number 3 for HPS is the high intensity. And no, LEDs are also high intense, but certain plants, certain species do love that high intense, high heat. Yeah. Out of HPS, it's a bit of a weak point, I'll be honest, but I had to fucking think of 10 and I struggled with some of them. So we'll move on. Simplicity. Easy to set up and operate than some advanced LED systems, because I'm not saying that they're technically simpler. They're just simpler because people know what they're doing with them. You bend the little metals up on the shade, hang them, screw the bulb in, wire in the ballast, you plug it in, and you go. And you know how to grow with them. You know the heat out of them.
I just not agree with you there.
I'd just say because people know what they're doing with them.
I cut the box open, I get the LED out, plug the kettle lead into it, and it's on. Simple
to hang up, but not simple to grow with. Because
no, when it comes to growing, it's a different ball game.
When I say set up and operate, set up, because just people know what they're doing. But the advanced ones where you got to tune the spec, or potentially tune the spectrum.
I'd love to know how many of them they're selling with the tune and the spectrums and all that, mate, because that stuff reminds me of Canamono.
Mm.
That's professional shit.
Mm.
Would you ever grow with Canamono? You might, you clever little swat. But I probably wouldn't touch it. Just because, you've got to be the kidder.
Thanks, Barry.
If you're using their full range, do you know what I mean? Because it's good gear, but it's not to be fucked with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to start fucking and thinking that you're a fucking, what's a light expert called? That's one for you.
A light expert called?
Yeah. Someone who'll fucking, don't know what they call, just a light expert. Someone who's going to fuck around. What are them LEDs and they've got a little screen on the side and you can fine tune your shit.
Diotex one.
Diotech, I wouldn't have one.
I would.
Would you?
I like the Diotex are well made, well built. I like them.
Oh, I'm not saying that they're not. But just for the random person, would you, if someone come in the shop now and said, money doesn't matter, I need an LED, you wouldn't put them on that. Unless you've known them for 10 years and know that they're fucking bang into it the way you're banging into it. What?
Give it to the tinkerer.
No, the tinkerer. I'm a fucking tinkerer and I wouldn't have one.
Yeah.
But you give it to the tinkerer who's as knowledgeable as you when it comes to lighting. Not saying you're dead knowledgeable, but someone who does know what they're doing.
Yeah.
because you can fuck everything right up. Where safety's a bit of it, where you buy Maxi, all the other ones, then
It's easy
on. It's easy running, isn't it? It's like a dual spectrum.
0.5, I put availability. Because LEDs are quite expensive, a lot of shops don't stock a massive, like, remember when magnetic ballasts were a thing, we used to have 100 at a time in the shop.
Yeah.
Then digital lights came in and we had 50, 60 at a time in the shop. LEDs, how many are in the shop now? Yeah, because they're expensive, aren't they? And you can get them next day, but they do take up a bit of space.
Yeah, but
storing them.
I think if you're going anyway to buy £2,000 worth of LEDs, you're not worried about coming back the next day.
Yeah, but upon availability, every shop in the country has got has got HPSs in stock.
Yeah.
So if you want to just turn up and grab one there and then,
yeah, you're done.
Grab 10. I'll go to any shop in the country. And
if you want to go now and go and buy
tomorrow.
6 Maxi Bright Pro Selects,
getting them the next day, aren't you?
Yeah, probably.
That you've ordered them.
Probably. There'll probably be a few shops
I
out
know
there.
I'm scraping the barrel here, but fucking bear with me. I think I did well to get 10. Large scale operations, HPS I'd say are better, because you're a strawberry, lettuce, cucumber, tomato greenhouse farmer, and you've got to install 100, 150 LEDs. Unless you've got a monster investor, it's going to cost you some fucking money that.
Just to grow strawberries.
Yeah, so what I thought is HPS is probably upfront cost better for those people, unless you've got the investor. And
for agriculture,
LED.
I'd say HPS is probably better.
Yeah, because
of the lack of the money that's in it now.
Well, 100 LEDs at £300, costing you £300,000.
Just, yeah. I mean,
that
farmer's never going to get that back.
10 300 is £3,000. No, £130,000, isn't it? Yeah. Fucking just bad maths, that. £30,000 for 100, 300 watt, like 300, no, 100, £300 LEDs. A large investment, isn't it? And they're not getting £300 LEDs either. Tried and tested technology. HPS is mature, well understood, easy to troubleshoot. If you have any issues, you can go on any blog in the world and it's there to tell you how to resolve it, fix it. LEDs are getting there now, but
there's only 3 components to it.
I still give it to the edge of ease of diagnosing a problem under HPS is easy. LEDs, people are gonna, you need extra this and you need less this, and you know what I mean, they're still sort of guessing. Point number 8, enhanced red spectrum. So HPS does have a higher proportion of red light, which promotes flowering and fruiting. LEDs are trying to get up there, but I think the issue is with Samsung, Osram, they own the rights to these certain red LEDs and far red LEDs. Only certain LEDs can put them in, or certain manufacturers can put them in. And then it's about you just want wattage in terms of red light. So I think HPS edges it for the enhanced red spectrum. HPS gives you better canopy penetration, because the high intensity LED HPSs result in better light penetration through dense plant canopies, because rather than having like one direction out the LED, because the HPS is reflected and down, hits the walls, bounces into so you get better plant penetration. Fucking hell, I'm stuttering here. It's penetration. Plant penetration. Oof. And so it's a better canopy penetration for HPS. They definitely win that one. And number 10 is compatibility. So HPS lights are compatible with most existing grow light setups, making it easier to swap them in and out with other lighting technologies. Yeah. So that's it. But fuck me, I had to work hard to think of 10 benefits of HPS over LED.
There'll always be. I think in agriculture, like big farming and football pitches use Gavita and stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah.
I think you're always gonna have it. Do you know what I mean? But
for
the hobby side of it, horticultural side of it, I think it's LEDs.
Another year, podcast 300 in 2024. I think there might be two benefits of HPS over LED, legit ones. Yeah. I mean, and that's it. They'll improve that much. So we'll ask the question one more time. Is LED the death of HPS?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
And in 1 year's time. Now, to finish on a point.
Is it going to be the death of some manufacturers of LED?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
No.
With the amount of comebacks?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Very interesting.
You look at it, mate, there must be some manufacturers out there now when I speak to wholesalers and say, yeah, we do get some return to them, like, and I know you get returns of HPS, but these are a much bigger unit, much more money. Have they accounted for, like, have these companies who have brought this LED out that confident, because they haven't run it themselves for 5 years to see if it does fucking go. They're just going on the technology that's in it, that it will last for 5 years. Do you know what I mean?
You've just brought up a point there that I've not thought about, and let's think about it for a second. Let's say, just trying to have a think now. HPS lights. People, because of the higher investment, people are taking better care of the LEDs, and once they're finished in one room, they're going to take them down, package it up nicely, and definitely move them to another. Because of the cheap price of HPSs, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you know what, just I want to start afresh. Fresh ballast, fresh bulbs, fresh shades. Now, I know in the HPS heyday, we'd order 100 digital light kits.
Yeah.
Last, just for ease of calculation, let's say a month.
They wouldn't even last that, would they?
We'll just say a month.
For ease a month, yeah.
So, that's 1,200 bulbs, shades, and ballasts.
Say bulbs, you could easily double that.
Yeah.
Easily.
1,200.
Shades.
People should have replaced them because they were fucking cheap, but they didn't.
So just leave it.
Let's just go for full light kits just to start. And let's say manufacturers such as Maxi Bright, Gavita, Dimlux, all light manufacturers made £10 profit, all said and done. 1,200 times 10 is £12,000 profit. So they made out of our shop £12,000 profit. Now, we're definitely not selling that many LEDs a month. So why is that? Is that because people are buying less? They're replacing them less? So let's...
It's just that the world's not committing to them yet, is it? Because of the expense.
So what do we reckon? Like, put a figure on it.
On LEDs that we sell.
A month. Like comparative. I know 1,200, this was in the heyday. So what would we...
still sell digital light kits daily, but LED wise, I must sell, you know, a week. Can be different.
I'd probably 40 a month, maybe.
Yeah, 40. 10 a week, easy.
Yeah. So 10 times 52, 520. So we're selling 1,200 divided by 520 to 2.3 times more HPS. Now, here's the question that I'm getting to. Have the LED manufacturers put 2.3 times the amount of profit on the LEDs that they had compared to HPS? Are they making £23 profit
more
than
to
on the
cover
HPS,
the cost of
that they're losing lack of sales of HPS?
And
if they're not,
that's not accounting the comebacks that could come back in the next 5 years.
Because there was a 1 year standard 12 months guarantee on HPS. Most of the time, if your bulb went, but there's no guarantee on bulbs, was there?
I don't know what percentage you said then, no, but if I buy a light off you now, and
you spend a lot, an LED
and I spend
light,
£500 on an LED, whichever LED it is, and it's got a 5 year guarantee.
Yeah.
And in 3.5 years, I come back to you. It's broke. There it is. I have now got another 5 years on that LED. Yeah.
They give you a new one, yeah.
But they will give me a new one.
Somebody talked about this, about how to stop and that, but I can't remember what it was. Or how they're even going to enforce it.
How are they going to enforce that?
No.
They can't enforce that. That's a shop now. Has got to bend over backwards and enforce it with the customer when they bring it back. Know what I mean?
There was only a 12-month guarantee on HPS.
That's only on the ballast.
on
24
the ballast,
month
24 months.
with certain ones.
And the bulb was never ever guaranteed because people touch them with their fingers, and
you also look at it from a grow shop perspective. Is in 12 months' time, if that ballast breaks and it's in a room with 10 other ballasts, just the chances of them bringing it back is fucking slim.
They just sling it and just
They
go,
just swing
go buy
it
a
and
new
go,
one.
lad, fucking 40 quid for a new ballast, mate. I'm not asked to go and get it.
They're not doing that with LEDs.
They're not doing that with LED, mate. Not when they've spent fucking £500 on it, mate, and it's lasted 3 years, and they know in their own head that it's got a 5-year guarantee on that. And they bring it back and it's like, oh no, mate, it's changed now. I have to send it off and they test it to see why it's broken. If it's your fault, you've got to buy a new one. Then it's grief for the shop owner.
Very true. Wonder if
I wonder it in 4 years' time.
A lot of LED manufacturers are going to have to close, or the product's going to get worse because they're buying cheaper parts. Because do you know what I mean?
It's just
interesting points. I like that. I like you've made that. Made me think a little bit. I was going to stop the podcast. You've just made us go for another 10 minutes.
What percent of LEDs out of 100 that have been sold, how many of them do you reckon come back faulty? Everything's faulty. Everything. No one can tell me nothing's bulletproof. Because I drive down the motorway tonight, I guarantee you now I'll see a recovery truck with a brand spanking new car on the back of it. You know what I mean? You never go down. Not that I had this conversation and someone said to me, shut up yourself, because there's no old cars on the road no more. But if you go down the road now,
it's 22 plates, 21 plates, 20
plates. On the back of the recovery trucks.
Because
there's that much technology in them. Because they're not just the car now.
It's also electrician to fix them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not just the car now, where years ago it was a car, you got in a gear stick, indicator, little turning knob radio, and that's all it had. You look under the bonnet of an car, it had fucking 5 or 6 wires. Now there's probably about 7 or 8 miles worth of wiring in that car because of the sat nav, climate control.
My old fella's
Lechy
mate,
this, Lechy that, Lechy
he
the
owned
other.
Hillier Hill in down south. They were the specialist Rolls Royce and Bentley mechanics. Like, they were the dog's bollocks. Retired now. And about 10 years ago, he said, I'm not learning fucking auto spark. And he had to employ new people to fix these new Bentleys and new Rolls Royces. He said, the mechanics don't fix the cars anymore.
So the new Bentleys and the new Rolls Royces are still breaking.
Yeah,
because it will. Something will fail. And it might not be. So it's not human error. Not like someone has fucking snipped a wire and the car's gone out. No, it's just things break.
Yeah.
Chips break.
So what was the question? What percentage of returns?
What percentage of wholesalers will do a podcast that probably be about number 500, and it'll be and sad news, but they fell off. And sad news, they fell off as well. You know what I mean?
So what percent? Like, who's still going to be here?
It's not that. Like I just said, you have an account for 100.
Pull that mic back to your mouth.
Account for 100 growers who buy LED, and they're all different.
20%?
No. Bring them back within the next 5 years. So that's 20% of brand spanking new lights getting given out.
Oh, yeah.
With another warranty.
I get what
which
you're
means
on about.
they're not coming back to buy another one because now they've got a new one.
Yeah. So 100 lights, you've just lost the profits on 20 of them.
You've give 20 of them away. Yeah. By selling one, you've ended up giving 2 away because one's fucked. And it's the old model because now
first LEDs come out and they were 500, 600, 700. Some of them still are, but 500, 600, £700, and then you got to compete. You just drop your price a little bit,
bit. And that's what's going to happen.
And then in the end, you're just not making any profit. Fucking hell, what a way to fucking end the weekend.
It could go the other way because LEDs becoming the thing, because it is the thing. It's probably going to get cheaper. Do you know what I mean? It probably will end up cheaper.
Moral of the story, fuck off with your 5-year warranties because it's only going to end in tears. If it's not, come on and debate with us. Come and argue. Say no.
It might not because these LED companies now are paying a certain price for the LED chips. In another 2 years' time, they could be paying less. They could only be paying 25% of what they're paying now for a chip.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Interesting times, interesting things. Do you know what next week's podcast is? You'll have to listen in next week to hear about it.
I do stupid things.
So just to try and get people to keep on listening, get them back, keep it interesting. Now, next week's podcast is on tricantanol, and we're going to look at, basically, we're going to go into, not every week, but spaced out over the next 48 episodes, is a bit of a deep dive into each PGR. We're going to start off with tricantanol. I've got.
Am I right in saying that's like it can be a natural occurrence?
Yeah, it is. It does have some hazards, but they're rare. A lot of benefits. But we're going to go through the natural PGRs, the unnatural synthetic ones, and get into the nitty-gritty of what each one does and the harms with each one. Because when we do a PGR podcast, it's on everything, and we don't really get into the nitty-gritty. But spaced out over the rest of the year, we're going to talk to you about each PGR individually. Next week's is on tricantanol. So look forward to that one. Tell your friends, and I'll enjoy the rest of your day, week, month, year. See you in a bit.
Ta-da.